wasabis, this is Jirbie from Couch Wasabi. So for today's video, I'm going to be featuring another award-winning Philippine coffee bean. And this is going to be from Trails and Traces. And this is the Philippine Jerson Tamang coffee bean. So this is sourced from Cordillera region. And if you want to get to know more about this bean, then please keep on watching. So for today, I will be using my very affordable Daiso dripper. I seem to gravitate towards using this, perhaps because it's very convenient to clean it up. It can be easier than my V60. Alright, so for today, we will be using this Daiso dripper. And I seem to be gravitating towards this in my recent brews. Perhaps because it's so much easier to set up. Like whenever I bring out my V60, I seem to be compelled in using my Lily drip. So this makes cleanup such a breeze. And before anything else, let us just start heating our water. Because it's not advisable for us to use distilled water. Okay, so while that is heating up, let me just prepare our beans. Today, I will not use brew timer. I want to be as basic as we can. So I'll just get 15 grams of coffee, 225 ml of water, 1:15 ratio. We will have 30 ml bloom. Oh, it smells so good. Ang bango niya. Okay. Press there. Okay, this bag of beans was roasted last August 5. So, this is readily consumable na. And let's start with the grinding. We've already brought our water to boil. Let me just measure out 225 ml. Okay. And the rest, you can basically use it up to preheat. My only problem with this Daiso dripper is that the filter doesn't seem to fit the dripper perfectly. It's such an issue for me. Alright, so let me just throw this out. Alright, so here we are. Press there. I just like giving it 2 taps. Okay. Alright, so let me just share with you the grind size. This is medium fine. And this is our bean for today. This is from Jerson Tamang, and here are the taste notes. So we'll see. We are clocking in at 13 grams. Wow! Daming nawala. Alright, so it's time to pour our water. Daming nawala talaga. So we'll have 30 ml and then wait for 20 seconds. Oh. So we did 60 ml more or less. And then $140 ml. And finally, we'll finish off with the final water here. I will agitate it a little bit. Alright, so I think we're done. And it's time for our taste test. So this is from Jerson Tamang. This is a batch of beans sourced from the Cordillera region. It says that it has notes of stone fruit, tropical fruits, and brown sugar. Okay, so this is really a pleasant cup. I can really taste the sweetness, but not to the level of like really amazingly stone fruit taste, like the one from Project Origin's Ethiopian Jasper beans. But this is very delightful. And what's funny about this is that among all the cups that I've tasted, like I haven't eaten anything. It's just 7:45 in the morning. It's a very gloomy kind of morning, and this is my first cup of coffee. Actually, it's my first anything that I'll ingest in my body. So my palate is really like clean right now. We are working on a clean slate right now. And I'm really amazed because I was expecting like this is gonna be like any other Philippine coffee where it will be that typical kape and then sa dulo, that kick of bitterness or that kick of coffee. But this is not that. In fact, I would say like the flow of flavor for this cup is it goes on light and it will build body in the middle, but the end of it will be really light and refreshing. There's no bitterness to it. Smell-wise, I can't detect the sweetness. Even here in the bag, I really can't detect the sweetness, but there's a pleasant smell into it. Let me just take a whiff. There's like a pleasant, airy, light smell into it. It's like it's very refreshing. In fact, this is something that you would like when you are, you know, having a long day and it's been sweltering hot. This is the perfect coffee for that. It's very light, it's very refreshing. In fact, it's very breezy. I really love it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to actually be able to taste something as amazing as this. And this is available here in the Philippines. I'm happy that I got this. I paid for 450, I think, for this. Yeah, I paid for 450 for this. And it's at 250 grams. Not bad. I mean, this is a good batch of beans. Still same. It goes on light. Like when it enters your lips, it goes on really light and refreshing. And then it will build up. And so you can taste the coffee. But it's not your, I guess it's not your typical bitter coffee. It's not your typical Pinoy coffee na sinasawsawan ng tinapay tapos kinakain. It's not that kind of coffee, but this is like a really good cup of coffee. And then towards the end, it just vanishes. Parang suabe lang siya talaga. Amazing. I love this. I really do. And guys, I paid for all of these beans. None of these was sent to me. Gladly, I paid for these beans. I'm really amazed by this coffee. I think I've never smiled this big in tasting any coffee. Wow. really good. It's really good. It's really good. You guys should try it. If you are someone like me who's like into not your typical taste of coffee, I really hate it when I brew a cup of coffee and then I end up saying it's just your typical cup of coffee. I really hate that. I feel that sayang lang pera ko. I want to explore beans that are really outstanding, that are really not your typical. Because if it were so, I could have just popped by a grocery and grabbed whatever, you know, Colombian instant coffee or whatever there is, right? So that is the reason why I am exploring different beans, I am exploring different sources, different regions, and I'm really very pleasantly surprised that I got this. It's really good, it's good. But this doesn't fulfill my search on finding that really prominent stone fruit beans. I honestly think that there's none. I mean, I honestly think na walang ganun sa Pilipinas. But this is a good consolation. It's not your typical Filipino cup of coffee. It has a very good dimension into it. The profile dimension is really amazing. And I guess I would love to compare this with the one that I recently had, the PCQC Debris a lot. I think that also is a good one. And this cup of coffee is something that you don't really have to add anything. Like, you don't really have to add any syrup. It's good as it is. I mean, it's a good morning to anyone, to be honest. You can take it in the morning. You'll have an easy, breezy kind of morning. You don't have to shock yourself. You don't have to give yourself that wham bam kablam moment. It's also a good coffee if you want to take it at night or if you want to take it after a meal. I think it's a very versatile cup of coffee. The dimension is just very amazing. I love that it goes on smooth, builds up on its own, but then again has that end note of being very light and refreshing. I'm not sure if you guys have tasted such kinds of beans. If you haven't, you should try this. I think this is the smallest package that they have. It's really good. You can take my word for it. Even at its warm state, ganun pa rin siya. It goes on light, builds up on its own, and ends very refreshingly light as well. Yung pag-build up niya sa gitna, yun lang medyo nag-iiba. So now you can taste that it gets a little stronger, but then again, still towards the end, it's still really light. As in parang, it goes down your tongue, it goes down your palate very, very clean. Amazing. Alright, so I guess that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed today's cup of coffee. If you have any other suggestions or if you have any other local coffee bean recommendations, don't forget to shoot them down through the comments or slip me a DM. I'd love to know. And I guess I'll see you on my next coffee video. Bye! Bye!